Holy shit, it's like a hurricane outside or something, but I just watched the first episode of Glasslip, and it was weird. So to start with talking about this show, there's a few things that I know going into it that are kind of interesting. First of all, this show is being done by PA Works, a studio who has not done a whole lot of shows, but all the ones they've done have been interesting for one reason or another. One of their first works was Kanan, C-A-N-A-A-N. I don't remember how you're actually supposed to pronounce that. It was a great action show that I enjoyed a lot. I have a lot of figures from it if you have not seen them in my other videos. And they also did Angel Beats, which a lot of people liked and was pretty popular, and I enjoyed that a lot too. But see, where those two shows were more like action and high energy, they then did Hanasaku Iroha, which was like this sort of low-key drama show that was mostly about, like, it takes place in like a rural Japanese town, has lots of gorgeous background art, pretty solid dialogue. It was a good drama show. And then they did Tari Tari, I think is what it was called, which had like the same character designs and also took place in a rural Japanese town, but seemed to have less of the overall drama. I didn't watch all of that show. I don't entirely know what it's about, but I just remember that it looked so much like Hanasaku Iroha that it was like really distracting. The last show that they did, I think, was RD Red Data Girl, which was horribly boring. I only made it through an episode. I heard a lot of people didn't finish it or thought it was just boring as hell. And now they're doing this show, which at first glance kinda looks a lot like Tari Tari. It doesn't have the same character designs that that show in Hanasaku Iroha had, but it does take place in yet another small rural Japanese town with a lot of gorgeous background art. I would not say that this show is nearly as pretty as Hanasaku Iroha was, though. It definitely does not have that same level of polish, but it is a good looking show with some location shots that I really liked. And the show is being directed by Junji Nishimura, I think is his name. I could be fucking that up. This guy has directed a fair number of shows. A lot of them are kind of mediocre, but he did direct the best seasons of Ranma 1/2, which were, I think, 6 and 7? 5 and 6? Something like that. He also directed Simone, which I'm a big fan of, and he directed and wrote True Tears, which was a pretty good drama show. And he's directing and writing this show, so it could be something a little bit more on the side of a cool director show. And as far as I know, it's completely original. But as for what actually occurs in this episode, I don't know. It was weird. It didn't really serve as a good introduction to any of its main characters. Like, it showed us who they are and that they are friends, but we didn't really learn anything about them. If there's a plot, it certainly hasn't become apparent yet. The only thing there is a bunch of random allusions to themes that will probably come up throughout the show, namely ethics. One of the girls at one point is reading a book by Albert Camus, which is the French writer who is most famous for The Outsider, The Plague. He's kind of considered like the godfather of absurdism. And I don't remember the name of the book she was reading. It's his collection of short stories, Kingdom and something in the Kingdom. Oh, why can't I remember? But I was like, whoa, Camus being read on this show. And then there's a bunch of chickens that are named after, like, ethics writers, and were named by the ethics professor at this school, who we have not seen yet, but we have seen mention of him. There's also allusions to famous art, because the main character girl compares the mysterious transfer student guy. She says he looks like David, as in the statue of David, which he looks nothing like by any stretch of the imagination, but apparently to her he looks like the statue of David. There's a few artistic references in there in general. The opening scene is a lot of shots that don't seem to have anything to do with each other. It's this very slow atmosphere with weird moments throughout. There's an introduction to these like glasses that look like 3D glasses, but they're actually augmented reality glasses, where someone like at one point plays something on their phone, and like when you're looking at the glasses, it makes these little smiley faces show up on the desk. So maybe they're gonna do something with that. I have no idea. There's a sort of ethics debate of some kind where the mysterious transfer student is talking about how, like, these chickens should just be put into a coop because it's too dangerous for them to be outside, and the girl disagrees that they should be put into a coop. She thinks that they can fend for themselves, but then she gets worried about them, takes them into everyone's houses, everyone takes in the chickens, and then she realizes that that's no different from putting them in a coop. I don't know what that's supposed to symbolize, and the episode doesn't really put much focus on that. It almost seems to be like bringing that up as like subtext or something. I don't know where the fuck this show is going, but I'm guessing it's going to come down to a lot of ethics theming and maybe something to do with augmented reality and chickens. I don't know. I'm gonna watch more of it. I was interested enough to check out more, but it was weird. And that's it.